Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Soundcheck. This is Brent.
And this is Walter.
It's been another year.
Yeah.
Back for our end of year roundup. I'm not going to go as crazy this year.
Yeah, we went for a long time last year.
Yeah, I got, too excited, just huffing my own farts, talking about like every single album I ever listened to. I have a top 10 this year. I will stick to that. I won't stray. And then afterwards, I'll just have a real quick list of other like honorable mentions and other things that were like decent, but didn't quite make the cut. So yeah, I don't know. You want to get into it? You want to start?
Let's start with the ones that we already know we have in common.
Some shit. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So for me, this was like, should I save the goated album for the year, like at the end, or?
I'd say so. Yeah.
Okay. I guess like top 10 right now, like albums for me, like not gonna lie, like low on the list was very good. NewJeans, like some K-pop group that like I don't know, like they just manufactured some great like hits. Everything was just I couldn't find anything like wrong with it. Like there's some songs that I didn't really like care for, but they weren't bad. But honestly, like ASAP was like my favorite song from them like this year.
Yeah, I remember you sending me a single or two of those. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, they're so good.
Is that do you have them in like a numerical order? Or you just kind of have.
I just went from the bottom.
Okay.
So they're like, she's like, I mean, they're like 10. Like.
Oh, gotcha.
The bottom of the list.
Because like.
Should we do like 10, 9, 8, 7?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah. So my number 10 was Periphery with P5. So
okay,
yeah, like we were saying, like kind of made the cut, but not like the cream of the crop.
Yeah.
It was a grower for me. Like I didn't immediately like it. I think I liked the single they put out, Atropos, and that's still kind of my favorite of theirs. But yeah, it compared to their other albums, this one I think kind of took the longest for it to sink in, for me to kind of get into. Like even like Juggernaut, those which are kind of divisive, I kind of like ate up immediately. But in usual fashion, I eventually fell in love with it, and it's super catchy and heavy.
Agreed.
And there was some. Oh, where was it? There was like. So I always try to find out like if there's like a story or narrative behind the different albums. And I was trying to find anything for P5. And it doesn't seem like they have like a cohesive story for the whole thing, but I found this fun Reddit thread where Jake gave some input on some of the songs, like what their inspiration was. Atropos is inspired from the game Returnal. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's really cool, super hard, like sci-fi game. Wax Wings, their tuning for that one was inspired by the band Toe.
Oh, they like Toe? That's awesome. I love Toe.
Everything Is Fine. They wanted to make a song that used laser sounds like Car Bomb. And so they went, while they were on tour with them, they like picked their brains and talked to them about that.
Oh, I can imagine that. I can imagine they had so much fun talking about that. They're like, how'd you get that? Pew, pew, pew.
Yeah.
And then,
Let's see. Zagreus, that's named after the main character from the game Hades, which that game also rips.
I was trying to wonder, like, how do you even say it? Like, Zagreus?
I think Zagreus, yeah.
Like, I looked at it, I was like, what the fuck? Is this supposed to be like Zaglerox?
Yeah.
But then, like...
that sounds like a Kingdom Hearts character.
Yeah. Do you remember Zaglerox, like that song? Like P1?
Oh, right.
I think that's also, like, a character.
Right.
Let me see.
Drackle Gross is about a portly vampire and his trials and tribulations in his village.
That's funny.
And then Thanks Nobuo is named after Nobuo Uematsu, who I guess is like one of the composers for the Final Fantasy games.
Oh, that's cool.
And they said it's a tribute to him. We're so respectful of his legacy and just perpetually in awe of everything he's done, which is sweet. Final Fantasy has been huge for their Misha and their like taste. Yeah, they love all sorts of video game music. They love the shit out of
Final Fantasy. I think he even did like the soundtrack for it one year.
Yeah. I've heard some songs Misha's done at the end of some video games. There was some Deus Ex game. I think it was like.
Is that how you say it? I always said Deuce Ex.
I think it was Mankind Divided. At the end of it, in the credits, this Djent song's playing. I'm like, what is this? And then it's like by Misha.
You're like, oh, dope.
Yeah. So yeah, that was my 10. Periphery. It's been a favorite over the years.
Yeah, I think they're pretty consistent. They're like, I don't know if it's because we just know what to expect, but like they're always like good. Like they're never like they never disappoint.
They're consistent.
Very consistent. They never disappoint.
So yeah, that was my 10. So and that was your 10. NewJeans. Yeah.
Well, they were actually my 9.
Oh, okay.
So we covered that. So let's go with your 9.
Oh, okay. My 9 is, and this is a shared one of ours, is Jpegmafia and Danny Brown, Scaring the Hose.
Oh,
I always love saying that. Yeah.
They were so scared. That's funny because I have them on a little bit higher of the list.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love Scaring the Hose, man. So, so good. But what were you going to say?
Oh, it's just fantastic. I mean, they have such great chemistry. We loved seeing them live. That was like, I guess I was going to save it for the end, but yeah, they were, I think, our top rated
performers
concert review of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were our highest. And then our lowest was, Periphery, and Under Oath, because Loathe had technical difficulties and only got to play Gord, and then Periphery also just had like a short set.
Yeah.
And we're just like kind of low-ish energy.
We were just also kind of annoyed too, because like I know like Loathe deserved a better set.
Yeah,
they deserved a better set, and then like Periphery's set, like I'm just so used to seeing them headline, like so I've always expected a higher, like not higher. I've always expected a longer set from them, and like seeing them only play like 30 minutes or like 25, I'm just kind of like,
it was a bummer. Yeah.
But like Under Oath, I mean, they were good. Yeah, but I was just like, I don't know, I was a little like disappointed from like the past 2 sets, and I was just like, I didn't even really want to go off for like Under Oath just because I was like, I didn't get what I want.
Yeah.
Give me Loathe.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was going to say the lowest concert to this day for like unanimous is still the Rings of Saturn show.
Overall, still. Yeah, I don't remember the score off the top of my head, but it was bad.
It was super bad.
But yeah, JPEG Danny, Scaring the Hose.
Yeah.
Immaculate beats. It's so much fun. Garbage Pail Kids is my favorite.
Same.
That crazy grimy beat. Yeah.
And especially with like the beginning of like the Japanese students like chanting.
The little commercial thing. Yeah. Yeah, some weird off the wall samples. And then in the song Scaring the Hose, it's like weird. It's like that weird atonal like saxophone. It's like really harsh and kind of shitty sounding intentionally.
Oh, dude! I'm gonna go PS postscript. So speaking of shitty sounds, so I unironically got back into Viper the Rapper.
Right on.
Really got back into it for some reason. We were talking about like lo-fi hip hop, and then like out of nowhere, I was like, oh, the whole SoundCloud rap thing, blah blah. And I was like, it's been a while since I've seen this, but like, I think I need to listen to some Viper because like he kind of fits the aesthetic a little bit.
Yeah.
But like it's just like it's like poorly done, but it's like so bad it's good.
Okay. Have you heard of Yuno Miles?
I have not.
Oh, okay. Because he's like a similar deal where I'm ironically and unironically into him. He's intentionally trying to get worse with each release. I should send you something of his afterwards. It's so funny. He's so bad.
Bitch, I'm in the field, nigga, call me Indiana Jones. Feel like Soldier Boy today, so kiss me through the phone. Feel like Usher yesterday in the shower, bitch, I was burning.
God, I love it. But I remember I was like talking to my coworkers. I was like, we want to talk about some SoundCloud? You listen to Viper the Rapper. You cowards don't even smoke crack. And it was just so funny. And like I was like reading the comments, and it's like this song saved my life. I've never heard a song shaming me for not smoking crack. So like that added like to the whole like aesthetic of like, not aesthetic, but like to the whole like how can I say it? Like the whole like enthusiasm
persona
of like persona of like, it's like bass before bass became being a thing. Yeah. It was super fun.
I know of him more than I've actually listened to him.
I think that's a good idea.
Like I know of his memes and stuff, but I don't know if I've ever actually like sat down and listened to an album
it's hard.
Or anything.
You just listen to his hits. Just the hits is all you really gotta listen to. Like I like Yule Cowards don't even smoke crack and then kill yourself, my man. just so like off the wall names.
Yeah.
Like I love it. But yeah, that kind of was like reminded me of like what you were saying earlier. It's like just bad beats intentionally. Oh, even dude, like I was like listening to Viper, and like on my my monitors, I was able like hearing like this like static every time he spoke, and then I realized this shit's unedited.
Oh,
like
yeah.
so like every time the static came from the mic, like from every time he spoke, he didn't even like bother like cutting that out or anything. I was like, damn, this is like I hit record, send it.
Yeah, that crunchy fuzz. Yeah.
Oh god, it was funny.
Haha, what's up with that? Y'all cowards don't even smoke crack. What's up with that?
So what are we on now?
I think 8.
8. I said Periphery. Well, Periphery was there too, but straight Tesseract.
Yeah, War of Being.
That was a sexy album.
I gotta say, I liked this album. It did not make my top 10.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
I loved seeing them live this year.
It was
I
good.
think it was my, unless I'm forgetting stuff from earlier in the year, I think it was my favorite concert of the year. But yeah, War of Being was really good. It was, I don't know how many years it's been since Sonder, 2018 maybe.
You know, Sonder didn't make it on my list like at all when it came out.
Yeah, I love all their out from like their early stuff up to like Polaris is my favorite, and then like Sonder I've kind of like tried to force to like, and like now I kind of do like some of the songs, but yeah, I can't. It does. I don't love it as easily as I do some of their other stuff. And War of Being, it's kind of like that too. I think I like it a little more than Sonder, but it's just I still haven't quite listened to it enough. But it's got some hitters on there.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
got some. It's like really grand. It's very like kind of a large album.
As I like to use the word sexy.
Yeah,
It's a sexy album.
yeah.
But like no, that album actually like I prefer that over Sonder, to be honest. Like, I feel like even the production quality on like War of Being I think was a little bit like less on the higher end side. Like I think there's like too much like high end on Sonder, but that was just like I mean it contributes to their sound, but to me it's just I find that a little bit of like had like too much of a processed like sound. I felt like I didn't really feel like natural. I felt like I was listening to like I wouldn't say like how can like not HD because I like stuff that sounds HD, but it just sounded like way too like digitized, I guess.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, it just sounded way too like high end and digital for me. For me, like I couldn't really get past like enjoy some of the songs because of like the production, but like not to say that they were bad songs. It's just like some things like prevented me from like listening to it like and enjoying it. But still good album, but
Yeah.
like didn't really like.
For me, it was always like their songs have always had like a priority and a preference for like ambience
100.
and like melodies and stuff like that. But with Sonder, the songs they would like start, you know, you have like your intro riff and a chorus and stuff, and then there would just be like a long stretch of like 5 minutes of just this like quiet kind of pleasant ambience, and like every time I listen to the album I'm doing something else, I just get distracted and I'm like, am I on the same song? Like where are we?
I feel
it like that's it just lingers for like far too long.
What I was gonna say, I guess it's your turn now, right?
Okay, my number 8 might be a shared of ours is Cattle Decapitation with Terrasite.
Terrasite, yeah.
Yeah.
Terrasite's really good. I actually saw them live.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw on Instagram.
Yeah, I actually when I arrived there, I was like, "Fuck, I forgot to tell Brent."
No, that's all good. I think I knew of it. I just like didn't have the energy for it. Like end of this year, I've just like gotten so tired. I don't know if it's like the weather or if it's just like a general life thing.
I think
but
it's just general
I'm just
life.
like, oh, I just can't do it. Yeah.
I think it's just general life.
Yeah. But yeah, we actually mentioned Terrasite at our mid-year roundup because it came out like early in the year, and I was kind of whatever about it. I was a little tepid with it, but after we talked about it, I went back, I listened to Monolith Inhumanity, Anthropocene Extinction, Death Atlas.
Oh no, you memorized the name.
And then Terrasite, and then I got all in on it. Then I was like so into it because it's like continuing the story. It's like about the little, you know, parasitic creatures before everything dies off in Death Atlas.
Oh, you read the lyrics, so
Yeah.
I was like, "Go boom."
Yeah.
Go fast.
The lyrics are good. Like I had
Really?
never really looked into them before, but like in addition to being like really gross and nasty, like they're pretty good at like world building and
I did
attention to
not-
detail. It's pretty cool.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
Like, what was the one with like the end of the world, like right before
Death Atlas.
Death Atlas.
Yeah.
Was super tight.
Yeah.
I love Death Atlas. Death Atlas. Terrasite was like a really good album. I did binge listen to that album for like a day or so when it came out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're just they've got a formula, but it's working. I mean, they're just like fast, heavy grindcore, and then what's their vocalist? Travis something.
Travis.
I don't know. Doesn't matter. But anyway, yeah, he does like these horrible goblin vocals, but then also can like somehow make it like they're as catchy as like extreme music can get in a way. I don't know. That's a hard balance to strike.
So like my favorite song off of Terrasite, I remember the groove like heavily because I remember I wanted to learn it. Scourge of the Offspring. That like the fucking groove that they have to go bam 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 bam. Like hearing that like in like such a tech death band, like I don't know, like it kind of shows growth, like a lot of growth in their music, like how they're incorporating like I guess like a new style versus just like the normal like super fast riffs that they usually implicate in their music. But like hearing like such a like heavy groove part, it kind of makes you want to like bob your head a little bit versus like headbang and like shake your ass just a little bit. You're like, oh, this shit's fucking fire.
True. Yeah, some of their previous albums are just like all about blistering speed, and yeah, this one's got a little more groove and like hooks to the riffs, a little more
like,
catchiness. It is really good.
Did Entheos come out this year or was it last year?
I think that was this year.
Entheos?
I think so.
Then yes, then they are. No, they deserve to be higher on that list, to be honest. Like that album was super underrated.
Yeah.
Like, I love that album.
Yeah, they are. I feel like they are still slept on a bit.
Time will take us all. Like that album is, it sucks because like I feel they should be bigger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get that.
Like the way they like Naveen incorporates like a lot of his like hip hop style and like tech death. Like I think that should be like they should be like way more mainstream than what they are right now.
Yeah. Yeah, real solid.
Yeah. You're like, all right.
No, yeah, I just didn't. Yeah, I don't know. It's like I like them, but I just don't have much else to say. It's just kind of like they do the thing and they do it well.
Mm-hmm. You remember like the after burial? I kind of coined the term the after burial effect.
Oh yeah.
Where you just kind of like do the thing you're known for and then dip out.
Oh yeah. I've also heard people say Sumerian core.
Yeah.
Or I haven't heard people say it. I've read it online.
Sumerian.
Internet speak. Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. I mean that checks out.
Yeah, like Velamaya after the burial.
Mm-hmm.
Periphery was with Sumerian for a little
while,
bit. Yeah.
And you fun fact, you remember Sumerian's first signed band?
I mean, I don't know first signed band, but wasn't the first album they put out Akeldama, the Faceless?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was it.
So is Faceless the first signed band? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember that because I remember being on their YouTube channel, and that was always the very first one.
Akeldama, such a good album. I haven't listened to it now though. I said that wrong. I haven't listened to that album lately. I've been listening to Planetary more, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, that album's timeless. It's either it's timeless or I'm stuck in time.
Yeah.
All right, what else? So we already mentioned Scaring the Hose.
Okay. So I think it's my 7.
Go for it.
Which I know you'll have. It's the Zenith Passage with Datalysium, which yours is way higher.
It is way higher. Way higher.
So maybe, I don't know.
No, you go for it.
I don't know. Yeah. It's super good. Yeah. Very anticipated for us. We were looking forward to it at the mid-year. And it delivered. And I think it was actually better than even what I thought it was probably going to be. Yeah, it's like when I envision tech death, I think like this is kind of like the new benchmark staple. I don't know what word I'm trying to say, but like
Standard?
the new standard maybe. Yeah, I think like this is kind of like the thing I'm looking for. It's like I mean I do like my albums like well produced and things are like, they cut through and it's very clear, very punchy. But yeah, it's just like so satisfying to my brain, so rhythmic and staccato and sharp.
Yes.
And I think even as techy as all the different songs are and as groovy as they are, I think Div Inertia 2 is my favorite. Just because it has that one big driving riff, and especially towards the end of the song when it slows tempo so gradually and then just bam, right back into that riff from the start. Dum 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 dum. It's so good.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's like, you already know where it's at for me in my list.
Yeah.
Like, that album is just perfect from start to finish. Like, once I heard it, I was already anticipating like it being very good, and then 2, actually seeing like the physical, I wouldn't say physical copy, the digital copy landed in my iTunes store, and then like at midnight, I immediately just woke up and just was like,
the digital copy dropped in your lap. Yeah.
And then immediately I was like, I even introduced to like some people to that band.
Ooh.
Like who like were predominantly like listening to hip hop, and then they're all stoner skater kids.
Yeah.
Like it's adults at this point. And they're like, yo, just listen to that drummer. He's so fast. He's so fucking good. And I'm like, yep.
Speed.
And I saw one of them just kind of like headbanging like a caveman. I was like, oh, okay. I guess it's, you guys don't really listen to this music that often.
And yeah, I just like how
so cool.
It just throws so many things at you, so many ideas and different riffs and solos, and I have a short attention span with music. That's why I always love tech death and mathcore when it can do this, when it can just kind of go all over the place and constantly berate my senses and just like keep me into it. I love that stuff. Yeah,
God,
it's very fun listen.
I agree. Super good listen.
And there was some interview with Justin McKinney, and I copied this whole quote, but Datalysium, it's a term they made up.
Oh shit, really?
Datalysium is a term we made up for where we feel people are being promised their lives will end in the splendor of some digitized immortality, a place we are willingly building for humanity as we continue to invent ourselves out of relevance and usefulness.
Hello, I am your god.
Hello.
Hello.
It is I.
Damn. This is, I don't know. That's pretty accurate. What else? I did like the new Stray from the Path. Like, I got into the, like, I think that was an album that came out in 2022, but like I checked it out and I was actually pretty impressed with it.
Yes.
Euthanasia.
Yeah, it did make my list. I did like it. And then when assembling this list, I actually did kind of forget about that album. They're consistent, kind of like you said, that like after the Burial Effect, they kind of just like do their thing, put stuff out. Yeah, this was good. Guillotine is crazy heavy.
I love
their single.
Guillotine.
Yeah.
God. And Chest Candy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit was awesome. I remember that was my Guillotine and Chest Candy were like my airplane music.
Oh yeah.
Like it just sounded so heavy, like especially with like Tom using the fucking Digitech whammy pedal and just like getting that like Rage Against the Machine sound.
Yeah.
Like they're huge. Like he's really huge into Rage, and like it shows in his
definitely
music.
Yeah.
And like
they're like Rage Jr.
Yes, Rage Jr. Give me fuck the police. But like
fuck you, I won't do what you tell me.
Basically, I've man, like I don't know. I've really liked that like Euthanasia, super solid. Like Straight from the Path album. Like the ones that also I really enjoy was the one that actually Misha produced. It had Damien on it.
What?
It's the one with the flag on it.
Oh, I can't remember. The last album theirs I really liked was the one. It was like General Atomics or something like
Internal
that.
Atomics.
Internal Atomics.
That was a good
yeah.
one. Yeah, that was actually a really good one. Alluvial. Their EP.
Yeah. 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 I was trying to remember if they had released an album, but yeah, okay, EP. Yeah.
Their EP was super tight. They made it on my list just because like
Yeah.
Wes Haas is always fucking. He's a badass.
Yeah.
Man, he's going off in the gym.
Yeah. Yeah, I loved Sarcoma.
Sarcoma
was crazy good.
and we saw them live.
Catchy
too.
and heavy. Yeah. Yeah, and they
Yeah.
did like 2 of the songs from the EP. Yeah.
All right, let me hear this one.
Okay, so my number 6. I think this will be an interesting one. I don't think you've heard this one.
Okay.
Got to say everything into the mic. This band called Fromjoy.
Yeah, you're right.
And their album, self-titled, also called Fromjoy.
Mm-hmm.
Heard about them from Mathcore Index. And
Oh, I forgot we do get like a newsletter update from them pretty often.
I listen to their podcast, and I follow them on all the socials and stuff. Yeah, so there's all sorts of ways you could describe this album with like different subgenres and stuff. But if I had to like, okay, there's all different things I look for in music and things that I love. And one thing I love is when a band or artist takes like disparate like genres or subgenres that like shouldn't mesh together, like should clash, but finding a way. So, I mean, you could describe this album as like mathcore, cyber grind, all sorts of stuff, but like stripped all the way down, it's like they combined hardcore with vaporwave.
You know, so side note, you know, like I feel like those two genres, like the audience already listens to that, like, but like never together. But I guess to me that makes sense because like the crowds that I usually see at like hardcore shows tend to be like more like indie kids, but who are also into like a lot of different genres, and vaporwave tends to be like one of the top like
it's
people that I
super
see.
popular.
Yeah.
So like, you know, when they're heavy, they're super heavy, they're pummeling, they're you know, like hardcore, and then they just occasionally, you know, have these just like really beautiful melodies and samples and guest vocals and stuff. And it's just like a really nice contrast. It reminds me a little bit of I can't remember if I brought this. I think I brought this band up at some point. There's this band called Seizures, and they had an album where it was like hardcore, and then they also incorporated like I don't know if it's like surf rock or like I don't know, something kind of like dreamy and pleasant. And it was just like a nice contrast of like pummely, heavy brutality, and then just like really beautiful like soundscapes and stuff. So yeah, it's just cool. It's well done.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'll have to check them out. What is it called? Fromjoy.
Fromjoy.
You know, it's funny. Like, not a lot of hip hop made onto my list this year.
I know. I gotta say, spoilers. Unfortunately, JPEG and Danny was my only rap. It was all metal, and then there's an art pop on the way.
Another EP that kind of made it onto it. Spiritbox's Fear of Fear.
Oh yeah.
That was actually really good. Like I binged it for a bit. Yeah, I had nothing really to say. It was really oh shit. I forgot about that art is murder's godlike. I actually didn't listen to it.
Oh
But
yeah.
like looking through the list, like this was still I still need to check out. I haven't gotten to it. But I've heard a lot of good things from Diar's Murder. Especially with the new vocalist, which is kind of crazy. Like the whole story behind it, if you haven't noticed.
Yeah, what a nightmare of drama that I don't even want to get into because I don't even entirely know what happened. But yeah, it's the new vocalist. I think it's the guy from Aversion's Crown.
That's what I heard.
Which I had checked them out before too. That's also a good deathcore band.
Ooh, wait, did Chelsea Grin's album come out this year? No, was
Suffer in Heaven. I think it did actually. That was a close one. That one almost made on my list. I maybe I'll give that one like number 11.
Gotcha.
Something. Yeah, that one was really good.
I like this new Chelsea Grin a lot. Like a lot. Like I think this is even though there's none of the original members, like they doing the Chelsea Grin sound better than
very strange situation. Yeah,
way better than Chelsea Grin did. But yeah, I think like Suffer in Heaven, Suffer in Hell, like they definitely made it on there. It was like a 2-part album. Like it was just super well done. Like I find it funny. It was and then it was like and then it was like but no, it was a super super tight album. Like I think the guitar work there is just like it's impressive.
Yeah.
It's like the grooves are impressive. Like they went. Do you remember when Chelsea Grin first started? They had like 3 guitars, a bassist, and like a vocalist and a drummer.
Yeah, kind of like Whitechapel. They just wanted to like supposedly create this like wall of sound or something with more guitarists. Yeah,
and then they realized it was probably like pointless because you can just digitize all that shit.
Yeah,
Like,
I
no
never
point.
really noticed a difference. Like at the time, I was like, "That's amazing. That's so cool."
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you can't hear a difference. I don't know.
Yeah, like I think back in the day it was different, but like now, like everything is just so modernized. You can just put on the backing tracks, and you don't really need 3 guitarists on stage.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll say they're up there.
Yeah.
That's the next one on the list.
so I guess we're at what 5?
There we go. This is gonna be a lot easier for me now.
Gotcha. So my number 5, probably also not one you heard of. I also heard of from Mathcore Index. Around the same time, I learned of Fromjoy, this mathcore band called Sleepsculptor.
You're right. I haven't heard of it.
Yeah, with this album Divine Recalibration. And
Divine Recalibration. All right. All right.
kind of like how Datalysium was like my new staple of tech death. Like this is a sort of staple for me with mathcore, where it just like every facet of mathcore that I enjoy, like they do well. It just chaotic, heavy riffs, constantly changing, visceral vocals.
Visceral.
Those like glassy, high pitch, like
Glassy.
things,
High pitch.
things that Tony Danza,
Tony Danza, Tap Dance Extravaganza.
yeah, but
Travis-
Josh Travis,
Josh Travis,
yeah,
gotcha.
stuff that he always does, yeah, it's just banging. It's super good.
God, I you know, it's funny. I wish Tap Dance Extravaganza was still around, but I'm kind of glad they're not, just because I feel like I would have like an sensory overload. I don't know, like if like crazy. I wouldn't say crazy music, but I would say like that style of riffing. I feel like it's kind of outdated a little bit. Like very few bands can pull it off really well.
I never knew why they broke up. I think I learned like somewhat recently-ish, like a couple months ago. I think it was like the vocalist became a cop and just didn't want to do music anymore. I think that's the reason.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
Fat Finger Death Punch.
which is so weird. I don't know.
Hi, I'm cop now.
I don't know. It's such a strange trajectory change. I don't know.
Jesus, that's weird. But like Josh Travis would always like bar hop bands, basically.
Yeah,
Like I actually haven't heard anything
like
from him.
remember
here.
Glass Cloud?
I love Glass.
Yeah.
Cloud. I don't know why they broke up.
Yeah, that was really good. They did like one album, maybe
Yeah,
an
they
album.
did one
EP.
album and then like an EP. Yeah.
Yeah.
War Forever.
I pop it on every once in a while.
Same.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
What about? Oh, dude. Lately, I've been on an Avenged Sevenfold kick.
Oh
I didn't think I
yeah,
was ever gonna say that.
yeah. I was obsessed with City of Evil
That
back
album's
in high school.
So good.
And then after that was I think their self-titled one, just the white album with the little skull on it, had like Afterlife and stuff. Yeah, yeah. Those two I think I was the most crazy about.
You know, I would consider them at this point like I wouldn't say classic rock, but I would consider them rock.
Yeah. I listened to that
Or heavy metal.
most recent album they put out. I don't remember what it's called, but it's like some sort of rock opera. I wasn't thrilled about it. I wasn't super into it, but I also didn't hate it as much as the internet did. Like the internet was like shitting on it like it was the new. I mean, it wasn't great.
Where they're like, oh my god, this is so progressive.
Yeah, I think that might have been it. Yeah, maybe it was just like the annoying fans being like, "Whoa, it's so conceptual and blah blah blah." 'Cause
And
it was
we're like,
yeah,
you've never heard of a concept album?
yeah,
You never heard of like Dream Theater?
yeah.
Never. Oh my god. I remember I had a coworker. She came up to me. She told me that exact thing, and in my head, I was like, "Wait, you're so behind." Like I didn't want to be mean, but I was like, "Yeah." But in my head, I was like, "You're just now catching up to like concept albums and like mixing different genres together.
Like when Slayer did their first instrumental track.
Yeah,
and fans were like, "Oh my God,
it's so crazy," and I'm like, okay, like there's no words.
Yeah,
There's no.
in a world of animals as leaders and plebeian intervals.
I've never heard a song without lyrics.
Yeah,
And we were just like listening in the back, like, okay. But it's like you can't really say anything to them. What else
was
is there?
it number 4? I think.
So number 2, we're number 4.
I think so. Unless my 5 was Sleepsculptor,
Honestly,
and maybe yours was Chelsea Grin.
Chelsea Grin, yeah.
Okay.
And then I already said Entheos.
Yeah.
Such a good album. Such a good album. This gonna be actually a little hard. Oh yeah. Oh no. Instasius was last year. Actually, let me think. You got yours already written down.
I do. Well, in the meantime, just one thing I'll say is something from a previous year that I listened to a lot of. So it came out in 2021, but I listened to so much of Portals by Tesseract. It was their live album that came out. They recorded like a live concert experience during the pandemic, and I didn't listen to it when it came out in 2021. I just recently got into it, and it is so freaking good. I actually prefer that version of some of their songs to their like studio albums, which like never happens with me. I like live albums, but I always prefer the studio albums. But like, I've just been listening to Of Matter.
That's a really
much.
good. That's a really good album.
That is no question about it. Like probably my favorite song by them. It's so insane.
Trying to think who else. Yeah, honestly, my number 2 is a cheat because it's a live album too. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I know what it is, and that's probably.
Yeah, you probably already know.
Yeah. Which was also an album I listened to a lot. That's a weird one. I didn't know how to consider that. Like, I guess when ranking, I mean, we can do whatever we want with these lists, but I guess like ideally people usually do like a new release. But yeah, if I were to include live albums, I'd totally do that one.
Yeah. It was so good.
Yeah.
It's I think you know which one. It has 3 parts.
Yeah.
God. Actually, I don't fucking know.
Okay. My number 4 is an art pop album.
Art pop.
The beginning of my year was like defined by art pop. I was crazy about it. So this artist, very big artist, but it was new to me. Her name is Caroline Polachek.
Okay. She Polish?
Maybe. Probably. Don't know. She has an album called Desire, I Want to Turn Into You. And it's an art pop album, this is mentioned, about escapism. And the songs are intricate. Her voice is beautiful. The opening track is like a pop epic. It just like has so much variety and grandeur to it. And there's a song on there, like a flamenco song called Sunset. And it is so catchy and pretty. And I listened to that throughout that was like my defining song for the summer. It's so catchy and pleasing.
That's your summer song.
Yeah.
Summer song.
It was, yeah. And then, she's got a song on there called Fly to You. It's got Grimes, which I've never really listened to, but she was doing guest vocals and I liked it.
Baby.
Yeah. And it had like a drum and bass kind of break beat and an acoustic guitar, like just a lot of, I don't know. Yeah. Just like multi-instruments, very textured, layered, intricate pop, just really good stuff. Yeah.
So on this number, what number are we on? 4?
4.
Meshuggah.
Immutable?
Immutable.
Yeah.
Even though it didn't come out this year, I'm putting it on my list.
We can do anything we want.
Because I was seriously listening to it this year more than I was last year. And like it kind of clicked for me because it wasn't like an immediate click. Kind of like how some albums are. But Immutable, like it kind of brought back like an old spark that I had for them. And then like like especially them releasing like doing re-releases on like Chaosphere and I was like, oh, these are what the songs they should be sounding like. I guess like when I was listening to the Bleed 15th anniversary like mix, I was like, this is so much better. It just kind of reignited like that spark I had for like music and kind of like took me out a little bit of like my slump, and it was just like I felt like super happier and just started being able to play like my guitar more and just like wanted to like sit down and just like study and just kind of like just see like all like the beats on track and just kind of like focus on like my rhythm, because I was just like, they're gods.
I got really obsessed with Chaosphere again.
Yeah.
That also had like a 15 or some
20
year, 20-year anniversary.
So good.
I was kind of confused by those anniversary releases because they only released like 1 to 3 songs from each. Like they did an anniversary for Obzen and Chaosphere and stuff. I thought they were going to like redo the whole album, but I guess it was just those singles. Or
there's a whole album that's just redone. They released the whole album.
Then they sure shit don't have it on Pandora then. That's what I listen to. Sarah has Pandora Premium, so I have it on that. Yeah, no, it's not great. They're very behind on album releases.
Get Apple Music or Spotify. Jesus. I got made fun because I was like, oh, you guys have Replay because we have the Spotify Wrapped, and I'm like, motherfucker,
I'm just like, does no one have this? But like, it's also the whole albums also aren't like on YouTube either.
No, yeah, see, like they have the whole thing there. Yeah, get out of this. Get out of Pandora.
I'm in a hole. Help me.
Get out of Pandora. This is what it feels like being an Apple user looking at an Android.
Yeah.
And by the way, I have an Android. Green Bubble Gang.
I have an Android also.
Green Bubble
Samsung
Gang.
Galaxy.
Yeah.
I don't remember
Apple
which
Music
one.
I have Apple Music on my Android, and people will say like, "You can do that." I'm like, "It's an app."
Yeah.
Yes, you can do that.
Yeah.
People always give me that funny look. They're like,
The Android police kick your door down.
"Yeah," they're like, "You're supposed to have Spotify," and I'm
Yeah.
like, "Oh, like Apple has better bandwidth."
Yeah.
And I've always just kind of stuck with Apple.
I use Spotify for podcasts and really
Same.
not music
Same.
at all. Yeah.
They're great for podcasts.
I mean, all streaming services pay artists next to nothing, but of them, Spotify also pays the least. So I also try not to use it very much. Although I did use it because on my PS5, you can play the app and listen to music on it, and I got really obsessed with gaming and like listening to stuff.
Oh, do you remember when
That's how I listen to a lot of Terrasite.
So, do you have 360 growing up?
I did.
So do you remember like when you can actually like put your music on the 360?
I loved that.
Yeah.
I had Exoplanet on there. That's probably what I played the most. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I know it would take so long to put in a CD and like to burn it and stuff. But then when I had this huge catalog, I was just ready to go. I had all Dillinger. Yeah, it was so good.
God. Oh, New Lovers, Better Lovers.
That didn't make my list.
That did
Isn't
not
that surprising?
That is really surprising. It's not an album, but like I just remember them for some reason. You said Dillinger,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, that's right.
Yeah.
They never put out an album.
They did. They're supposedly it'll be out. I imagine probably 2024.
They went on tour with just a single.
They played. I watched like a live set of theirs. They played everything on the EP, and then I think they did like a cover of something. I don't remember what it was. So yeah, they had like 5 or 6 songs. So they had like a half-hour set kind of thing. Yeah. So yeah, I did really like the EP. My aspirations for it were like astronomical, so I wasn't as obsessed with it as like I was hoping to be, but I don't know, the EP's just kind of a taste. Maybe the album will kind of see what they can do more.
And made it on my list. Yeah.
Didn't make mine, but I really liked it.
Yeah, like I thought they were just perfect. They're super grimy. They were the grimiest. Like,
I love the I've said it before, like when talking about Converge and some hardcore stuff, but I love when feedback is incorporated in a riff or a breakdown. Oh, that tickles my brain in just the right way.
I don't know. It's just so. It's dirty, man. It's dirty. Like you feel like listening to like bands like End and like Converge, I feel like I see everything in black and white, like everything black and white, and just kind of like a broken TV, just kind of like flashing back in and out, and you just kind of like have like little monologues of like someone's face being ripped off, and you're just like, I'm primal.
Yeah, it's just like lizard brain, like back to basics. Like kind of reminds me of like Nails.
I do like Nails.
Yeah, which supposedly they're coming back.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, I think they have a new album in the new year.
Do you remember Vane.fm?
I do.
I love them.
They're still doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
There was just like this flash wave of just like, I don't even know what to like consider them. Just like it's just grimy.
Yeah,
it's like
definitely inspired by Slipknot.
100%.
They're kind of like a
yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying.
beefier Slipknot. Yeah.
Hell yeah. They're kind of like. There's this one meme that I saw. It was like bands in 1990s where they were like, yeah, just add that's a DJ scratch to it.
Yeah, that's always so that's always so goofy to me.
But it works.
Yeah.
I do like it. I grew up with it heavily. But yeah, what number are we on now?
I think 3.
3. Okay, yeah, and definitely had my third.
Okay. Mine is a band that didn't put anything out for a while. Pomegranate Tiger.
Oh, I did see they released
All Input is Error. And yeah, this album is super fun. Very impressive instrumental progressive metal. And I would say probably like some of my favorite instrumental metal since like Animals as Leaders. Not saying I like it more than Animals as Leaders. I just mean like not quite since them have I found another instrumental prog band where I'm super into. But yeah, just like really catchy, lots of variety. It's also kind of like very bright and happy. Yeah, I don't know. Lots of personality, constant momentum. Just like just a really fun listen.
Are we on 2 now or
Yeah.
The Contortionist.
Yeah,
Live
retrospective.
album. Yeah, that is one of the it's like it's not new, but it's just it's different enough. Like having it live, it just sounds. I don't know. It just sounds organic to me.
Oh, absolutely.
Like it sounds even more beautiful. Like stuff them doing like everything real time versus like on the album where everything's gonna be like perfect. But like habada. I don't know, man. Like listening to retrospective just brought a whole new light to like some songs that I just really enjoy. I prefer them live.
Yeah.
Like it's like what you're saying is I prefer it live than I do like on the album. It just sounds like I don't know, it just sounds way more organic. Plus also like I really like the Mesa Boogie sound. So like them listening to them to use like Mesa rectifiers live, it just sounds like it just sounds like butter and like thick cream.
Yeah. Yeah, I listen to retrospective a lot. And
it's beautiful, man.
Oh, I know. I think probably the song I've listened to the most is was it Geocentric Confusion?
Oh yeah.
From Intrinsic. There's just like the chorus at the end that just like makes me weepy. It's just like I forget exactly what the lyrics are, but it's just like I don't know, it's just like very comforting and peaceful. And
is it the part they're like when they're kind of doing the delay part, like
yeah,
that one.
Yeah,
that part's super sick.
Yeah, and it's a lot of bang for your buck. Also, they do 3 different sets. The first one's like assorted kind of stuff. Second one is clairvoyant in its entirety, and then the last one's exoplanet in its entirety.
Yeah,
And
I honestly I think the most listened song that I have onto it is like Reimagined.
Yeah.
Honestly, I listen to that song a lot. I don't know, that song's super like I don't know, it touches my heart a little bit. But also really like Solipsis.
Yeah.
Solipsis. Oh, that's just
so
good.
So I always get the songs mixed up. I always get mixed up if it's Vessel or Oscillator. I think it's Vessel. But there's just like that crazy huge breakdown in it, and Michael's delivery before the breakdown is just perfect.
And we were survived by
yeah,
that's
the one.
I love that. It's so good. God.
And if you watch the video for it too, the camera just like swoops right in on Michael. Yeah, it's so good.
God, that is one of the best, like, I guess one of the best moments in music history, in my opinion.
The note I wrote about that album is, this might sound dorky, but there's something magical about hearing a high quality live album of a favorite band.
It is.
Just hearing how laser precise they are, but they're also free flowing, seamlessly transitioning with their like ambient synth portions, and Lesser doing his different lyrics and vocals, and just the way they reinvent themselves. And
Absolutely.
yeah.
Honestly, like, even this live album doesn't really do them justice.
Yeah.
Because I guess we've seen them multiple times, and then like they would like intertwine songs together.
Yeah.
And I love that part of like the Contortionists, that they'll like, I guess, figure out like, oh, this song's in the same key as this. We'll switch from this song and then end, like, begin that song and then end with like the ending portion of like the song that we started with. And like, I just love how they bring it back, and it's just so, and it's precise. It's so good. You're number 2.
Okay. My number 2, Humanity's Last Breath.
Ooh.
Ashen.
That's a good one. They didn't make my list this year, but like, well, tell me why.
They oh my god, they are just some perfect deathcore.
Yes, they
or
are.
what I they make apocalypse music.
his mixing, like Buster Oldenheim or whatever his name is.
Oldholm, maybe. Yeah.
Oldenholm, yeah. His mixes is like just apocalyptic. You're right.
Him and his crew in Viltjarta, Stortnir, and Humanity's Last Breath are just like, I'll drop everything and like when they have a new release, and they're just so stupid heavy, but they also are like, they also make these like dark melodies, just like kind of hypnotic and melancholic, and they kind of have that X factor of just like something of like metal bands from Sweden. Just like have that extra edge to them. They just have that extra darkness in their soul, where they can
Meshuggah.
they've just they've just peeked into the abyss, and they just can like make the most refined metal.
I agree.
And like Instill, that song I think actually went like a little bit viral even outside of just like the niche metal community.
Really?
The one with that like Bulgarian song sample,
okay.
That thing was so stupid heavy. I think mostly just because probably that Bulgarian song was like, people were like, whoa, someone put it in a metal song or something. Yeah,
That's super fucking sick. Oh my god. But like, yeah. I wish they made my list, but like, there's some songs that like he was teasing. Like the whole album's fantastic, but like there's some songs that I thought sounded better when like vocals were not involved.
yeah.
Like I think it was like the 3rd track off that album, and I remember like specifically loving the groove.
True. Listening. So yeah, that was actually something I was going to mention, is listening to their.
Oh, they do have an instrumental version. Lifeless, Deathless.
My God. My guy. Yes. Yeah, they do usually release their albums instrumentally later. And what I was going to say was I do always like listening to their stuff instrumental. And I watched a guitar playthrough of Lifeless, Deathless by, and I don't know.
He's going off.
Medeiros? Joao Medeiros. He made the tabs with Buster, and he did a playthrough of Lifeless, Deathless. And my note was, this might sound cheesy, but I saw the beauty, not just the heavy in the song. Like once the vocals weren't a distraction anymore, just being able to see the playing and just like hear the songwriting. Yeah, they just make such interesting songs for deathcore.
Agreed.
That aren't just like the kind of cookie cutter 1-2 basic blocks you expect. Yeah, they make really good stuff.
I agree. You know, like for the longest time, I got Humanity's Last Breath and the Human Abstract confused.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny. Like I said, I never really got into Human Abstract because I was like, I don't know. I just was kind of bored with it. Like,
they're
I mean, they're a good band and all. I just found them kind of boring.
I got into them for a period of time because they're kind of like Between the Buried and Me, but like their own thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've never really gone back to them since that little kind of phase.
Yeah, unfortunate. But we're on number 1 now. You already know what my number 1 is.
Well, you go.
Yeah, Datalysium, Zenith Passage.
Yay.
It's sort of like
Confetti,
Yeah.
kids cheering.
yeah. No, I fucking love Datalysium. Like, not only being like a huge like Faceless fan, but like the Faceless just has like such a unique sound that like Zenith Passage basically captures. And I mean, like, it shows. Like, he played with the Faceless for a bit, and like it's just such a niche like sound that like I thought only Michael King could really do, but like fucking Justin McKinney like does it really well. And then like that was like my driving music, still is, gym music, chilling at home music, watching TV with the music on music, yeah. Or like I don't know, just it's so I don't know, but it puts me in a space where I feel like I'm either like digitized in a computer or like I'm actually in space. Like I feel like that is like I feel like aliens would come down just to like jam out to this album because they know it's sick.
Yeah, it does have those very sort of classic sci-fi synthesizers. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I'd like this album got like I even told you like once this comes out and then I listened to like for the first time around, I was like, yeah, album of the year for me.
Yeah. Yeah, before it came out, you're like, this is going to be it. And then it came out and you're like, this is it.
Thank you, Justin McKinney. Thank you, the Zenith team. Like I love this album.
Zenith and the Boys.
Zenith and the Boys. I still haven't bought the mug yet. I really should buy the mug.
They have like a coffee mug?
Yeah, it's all gold.
Whoa.
All gold, and it has like I wouldn't say all gold, but it's like a gold film or whatever, and then it has like Zenith Passage like in black, whatever. But I think it'd be kind of cool to have it in the office. They're like, oh, this mug? Yeah, Zenith Passage. I'm a fan. Yeah. Ever heard of them? I don't think you have. You wouldn't know.
I remember being obsessed with the first single they put out. I think it was Lexicontagion.
I love Lexicontagion.
Yeah. Is that the one that's like... Yeah. So catchy. Yeah.
God.
So fast and fun. Yeah. Just strumming, just tickling the brain.
God damn. Like, they just had hits after hit after hit after hit, and I couldn't get enough.
Don't stop hit.
Good. What's your number 1?
My number 1. So this is like my Datalysium.
Okay.
In that I was looking for, like, singles were released for this. I was like, wow, I like that. And I was looking forward to the album, very anticipated. And then the album came out and it was like better than I was even hoping for it was going to be. The band is called Soulkeeper.
Soulkeeper, okay.
With the album Holy Design.
Okay.
And this is just like unequivocally far and above my album of the year. Like nothing was even close. I felt like this was going to be my album of the year, and then I listened to it, and just the whole year I've still been listening to it. Not as much towards the end of the year, but I'll still come back to it. They're like djenty metalcore. Maybe not chaotic enough to call mathcore, but they're definitely like in that realm. Or I could maybe even describe them as, and I love this term and I never get to use it enough, but digital hardcore.
Digital hardcore.
They have a very effect laden, like just lots of just like whammies and weird like high pitched screeches and effects and stuff. Crushingly brutal. I love the vocalist. I love his vocals so much. I love his lyrics, just like the songwriting, you know, wow, my brain's like short circuiting. Just like just like fanboying out. It's my moment. But Yeah, I just love this album so much. It's pretty short. I think it's like under a half hour long.
Okay.
Every song's a banger. And
you were waiting for this album, right?
yes.
And you were like, when you heard the singles, you were like, yep,
Yeah.
this is it.
Absolutely. Yeah, their singles Gorgeous and Heavy Glow. I don't remember when they came out, like years ago or something. And I've just been like waiting the whole time. I'm just like, where's the album? And then it came out and everything around it is so good. What did I have? Some parts kind of, speaking of Tony Danza, some parts kind of remind me of it. 25 minutes long.
It's a 25-minute long album?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
pretty short.
That's super short. That's like EP worthy.
And
I don't think.
oh yeah, I just, like I said, just love the vocals so much. Super punchy. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Keith Buckley.
Okay.
And kind of like how there was back when we saw Callous Cowboys live at that Rollo Tomasi show.
I'm actually surprised they didn't weren't on your list.
Callous Cowboys?
Yeah.
Oh, their EP. Yeah, I did really like it, but I know. I don't know. There was a lot of there's a lot of good music this year. Yeah. But yeah, when we saw Rollo Tomasi, I'd mentioned some interview. Carson Pace of Callous Cowboys said like an improvement he made was like vocal phrasing, like learning, like you don't just write the words and like hope it works out, but like choosing it specifically so it has like impact. And I feel like this Soulkeeper album does that so perfectly.
Gotcha.
Where like every word this guy is just belting it out and it all just like clicks. It just like makes sense. Like you hear the next bar and you're like, oh, of course that's what comes next. Like it just sounds so natural. And like Keith Buckley, he does that sort of vocals where he's just like, it sounds like he's screaming as much as he can for like every single word, like as if he's just going to start puking at some point.
Jesus.
It's so crazy heavy. I played that album at the gym one day, and I think I really scared one of the gym trainers there.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking
He
about.
like did not want me to play music again after that.
Wimp. What a wimp. How can you like be at a gym and like, yeah, listen to heavy metal? Puts on fucking Metallica.
Oh
It's like
yeah,
the classic rock. It's like, yeah, I do like interesting, man. It's heavy. Oh god, it's not, like there are days where I forget like my headphones to the gym, and like I loathe the music they put on there. Loathe. Like it would play Queen.
they don't even play Loathe.
They don't even play Loathe. Yeah, like they play Queen and shit like that. I'm like, come on. Like, how am I supposed to get pumped to this? This ain't even being pumped, yo. And like, yeah, I don't know. People need to be exposed to like the real music out there. I was also just ranting. Jim, no. Gyms need to play heavier music.
Yeah.
Like, how am I supposed to get pumped? Like, oh, cool, Rage Against the Machine Bulls on parade. Oh, let's fucking pump. I'm trying to think what else I've been going deep diving.
Okay. Whew.
I've been deep diving.
So, no, you go.
What else? I was deep diving into like some Eurotrash music.
Oh yeah.
God.
What kind of artist would that be?
Stan Christ, Dash 2, or Dash Star, whatever that's like. Knock 2, and like yeah, no, those are the two. There's this one song called Trepidations by Stan Christ that Alfredo actually got me into. You know, like sometimes I feel embarrassed to say this, but like sometimes I find some like good music on like TikTok reels and shit like that.
Oh, absolutely.
And then I'm like, oh, man, this is what I'm becoming.
I mean, I feel like good music is good music. I don't particularly care what avenue I find it from. Yeah, because there's all sorts of artists that have become favorite, and I found them in just like weird nooks and crannies on the internet. Yeah, I wouldn't be embarrassed if it turns you on to some awesome band. Then like,
it's just like the thing is, it's like catchy electronic music, and I'm like, oh man, I hate that I like this.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like some of the Eurotrash music are just like makes you want to go to a rave and just start pumping.
Oh, I got it for a little bit of time. I got into watching those Boiler Room sets. Have you seen those before?
No, I haven't.
You can watch them on YouTube. I don't know. I don't know if the venue is called Boiler Room or what the thing is, but it's just a thing where these artists go in there and it just highlights them, and they get like an hour-long set, and it's like the DJ's in the middle, and then it's just like an ocean of people all around them. And it's like it's just so like sweaty and grimy, and the lights are real intense. It's really cool. You should check it out.
Oh,
It's like really bona fide intense like Euro electronic music.
Hell yeah.
It's cool.
Hell yeah. Shit, well, I got nothing else. I mean, like, I don't know what else I've been...
I got my like honorable mentions.
Oh, do your honorable
like
mentions.
My other kind of things that I liked this year but didn't quite make the cut. 100 Gex with their album 10,000 Gex. I like them. They're fun, but it was like more of the same. You know, nothing. Chelsea Grin, Suffer in Heaven, as we mentioned before.
That was really good.
Some of my favorite deathcore in a while. Groovy, catchy. I almost forgot about this one. Swans, The Beggar.
You know what's funny? I thought about Swans like just a few seconds ago for some reason. I literally, no, seriously, like
Telepathy.
I think because I think you were talking about like art pop or whatever.
Oh,
like
yeah.
For me, like Swans came into that category because like the very first album, Teeth or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit scared me because I was like, this
It is
just
weird.
It's very like
It's
I
very.
would say it's just unsettling.
It's very grimy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like cowboy grime.
Yeah, they're like experimental rock, and I thought they were retired, but I guess they're back now, and they did this album, and it was good if you like them, but yeah, it didn't quite hit as hard as some of their previous ones. Didn't make my list.
Jackpot Juicer was mine.
Oh.
It didn't really make the list, but like,
Yeah.
I love Dance Gavin Dance.
Chamber, A Love to Kill For. I wish I had wrote a note because I don't quite remember what they were. I think they were like a hardcore band, and they were just like good at what they do, like heavy and satisfying, but not making like my top 10 kind of thing. Okay, so this one was fun. This one was close to making it to my list. Damien turned me onto this band called Aviations with an album Luminaria. They're like a progressive metal band.
One guy, right?
I don't know.
Does it have like an album cover of a cloud and like some like?
I think it's like a
shit?
floating house.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something.
I
Yeah, is
remember
that
seeing-
one guy?
I think that's one guy. Actually, oddly enough, Modern Fuzz turned me on to them.
Oh,
And
okay.
I told her, I was like, I don't know if this is really my thing.
Yeah, Damien sent it to me, and I did really like it. The vocalist reminded me a little bit of Michael Lessard. Yeah, and just like if progressive metal is your thing, I mean, it is that kind of like
Because they had like some like I wouldn't say digitized, but like just like
it's very clean. Yeah,
I don't know what. Maybe I'm thinking Prospect or whatever.
yeah. I mean, it is a little like cheesy because it's very like cheery and happy and stuff. But yeah, if that's your thing, that's sort of like classic, more kind of prog. It's really good, really catchy, and there are moments where it's very heavy
Is it
too.
Aviation?
Aviations, and the album's Luminaria.
Oh, okay. No, I'm thinking of a different album then. I didn't listen to Luminaria. I'm sorry.
Maybe give it a try. I don't know.
I'll definitely give it a try.
I mean, it literally like right away in the first song, you'll either kind of like be vibing with it or not. So.
Let me find. It was like this band called Prospect or something like that.
Oh, wait. That's starting to sound familiar. I think I know what you mean. That one was one guy?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think I might know that one. Because I feel like I followed them on Facebook waiting for like a new album that never came.
Find it this year.
Better Lovers was the next one I was going to
Lovers,
say.
yeah.
Yeah, God Made Me an Animal EP.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Tesseract, War of Being. That was one there.
Yeah,
Sin of... Yeah. Contortionist Retrospective.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So a lot of these were, my
We
honorable
covered,
things. Cryptopsy.
Oh,
Cryptopsy.
honestly,
As
that was a
Gamora
really good
Burns.
album.
It was good, yeah.
Very good.
First album
Something
of
Gamora,
theirs.
right?
As Gamora Burns.
Yeah.
First album of theirs in I forget how many years. 10.
They were like the fucking kings of death metal when that album came out.
Yeah. What are they, like Canadian tech death?
They are
something
Canadian.
like that. Yeah.
You know, Canada has all the good tech death. I haven't heard one bad tech death.
Is
album.
Archpower Canadian?
They are.
Dang. Yeah, for real.
Ooh. Trying to think. Honorable mention, Dying Fetus.
Right. Yes.
That was a good album, but it just didn't really make the list. I kind
Yeah.
of knew what I was getting.
That's one of the few albums I actually can't remember what it's called, but I distinctly remember the cover where the guy's got like a knife at his throat.
Yes.
Yeah. I really liked their previous one, Wrong One to Fuck With.
I do like that. I
Yeah.
love their name title. They
Yeah.
they give zero fucks. Also, Cannibal Corpse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chaos something. God, I don't know.
But like, honestly, it's
Chaos Horrific.
yeah. There we
Yeah, got to me.
I'd say it's a little hard for me to like give like death metal top 10s. Like it has to like really capture my like Terrasite was super unique.
Yeah.
Yeah, Terrasite was like experimental in a way as far as like, you know, deriving from the original sound, but like still maintaining it. But like bands like Cannibal Corpse and like Dying Fetus, like they're great. They do they do their sound great. But it's hard for me to put them on the list because it's like I don't know, it doesn't really sound as inventive.
Death metal is something I'll get in the mood for occasionally, but it doesn't have enough for me to chew on for it to be like a lasting thing.
I agree.
Tech death also doesn't linger too long, but it does a little bit more than which maybe I don't know. Maybe I'll save this for the end. I was thinking of Job for a Cowboy. I'm excited for their new album in the new year.
You get me excited. You just got me super excited because
The
I forgot all about
the one or
it was Moon something.
two singles. Yeah, maybe it's just one. Yeah, it's been. Yeah, I'm excited.
Hella long. You just remind me. Like I love Job for a Cowboy. When they ended with Sun Eater, I thought that was it.
Yeah.
And I was like, this was a good ending. Like,
Yeah.
This is a good album to end on.
It was a good ending, but I'm glad they're coming back.
Yes. God. It was like Moon something. Moonbringer.
Yeah. Calloused Cowboys. Yeah, I actually didn't have that on my list, crazily enough. I can't believe you had to remind me of that.
I know.
Yeah, because they were...
Moon Healer. There we go. Yeah, Moon Healer's going to be fucking sick. And yeah, a decade. Literally a decade. A decade apart.
Wow.
Sun Eater and Moon Healer.
I just have two more. This band called Johnny Booth.
Never heard of them.
Had an album called Moments Elsewhere. And really good, really catchy metalcore, catchy choruses, heavy riffs. I think, unless I'm misremembering them, I think they kind of sounded like, they sounded like Loathe and Deftones at times. So that was good. And then for my last one, this one's like a little bit of a disappointment. So similar to Soulkeeper, there's this band, this mathcore band from Texas called Pillar of Wasps. And they put out like singles and demos and stuff on their Bandcamp for years. And I kind of like found it somehow and was really into it and was looking forward to it. So they finally put out their first EP. But like the vocals were a bit of a downgrade. Like they sounded better in the demos and the singles because it was just like very more sort of like shrill and erratic. It was just like better suited for mathcore. And then for this EP they put out, it's like, it's not bad, it's serviceable, but it's just more like straight to the point kind of hardcore vocals. But I love the instrumental, their instrumentals. They one of the hosts of Mathcore Index described them as like trying to make their instruments sound like anything but guitars. Like they are so drowned in all these crazy effects that like it doesn't even sound like guitars. It's just like lots of like high pitch beeping and screeching and all this crazy stuff.
That's fucking sick.
Yeah. So I'm hopeful, you know, I'm looking forward to other stuff they release. Yeah.
Honorable mention, Fleshwater.
Oh, I didn't hear that, or don't even know that.
So they're like for fans of like Deftones and like Loathe, like I think they put out the album. It has like a cover of a duck on it.
Rad.
And it's a female vocalist. Yeah,
Fleshwater.
Fleshwater. So yeah, it's called "We're Not Here to Be Loved."
Dang.
Yeah, it's actually like.
Whoa.
I forgot who turned me on to, but I think it was like a
Freaky.
random like. There was you Fleshwater blah blah, and then like I was like, that sounds kind of cool. Maybe I'll
We're
listen
not
to
here
it.
to be loved.
And then like I put it on, I was like, this is actually like legit, like well thought out music. Like they captured the Deftones sound really well. They captured like a Loathe sound really well, and it's just like it kind of gives you like those '90s like grunge, like heavier than grunge vibes.
Yeah, I was gonna say that album cover really looks like it's from the 90s or something.
Yeah, they captured that really well, and I was like, I became a fan after that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like I don't know how to really describe it. Like an honorable mention because I found them this year, and I was like, "This is really good."
I mean, that's the weird thing about end of year stuff is like things can come out still in December.
Yeah.
And be late releases, but yeah.
I don't know. I think this is the perfect time.
Yeah. Even if it comes out late, you can still like fall in love with
Modify
it.
it,
Yeah.
I think that's it. Like Fleshwater. Oh, this is an album that I've like really loved, but like it ebbs and flows like in my rotation. One of the reasons why I love Entheos so much is because like Flesh Rot, which was like Naveen's like project before like Entheos, and like it's a whole concept album. I forget exactly what it's about, but like it has like samples from like American Psycho. And God, like Flesh Rot, it holds up. Like it's well thought out. It holds to the test of time. Like I actually really like that album, and I think like it's very ahead of its time.
Yeah.
Like it's I love it.
Right on.
Thank you, Naveen.
Yeah.
Also it has like the vocalist for Job for a Cowboy like on that album too.
Oh.
Super good.
You know what we forgot to mention? Danny Brown. Quaranta?
Cortana.
Yeah.
Or
Which is
Quaranta?
Italian for 40.
Oh, Quaranta.
Yeah.
Oh, because he is 40.
Yeah. Just as Triple X was Roman numerals for 30. Yeah.
Oh.
It's a good album. Didn't make my top list, but
It hits deep. That came out when I was in Mexico.
yeah, it came out like pretty recently.
Good album. It's like not really wild.
It's pretty somber.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't do his usual like his kind of like nasally higher pitch. He's like
He's serious.
yeah, he's serious. Yeah, God.
Like
There was a song in there about like his trauma from growing up in Detroit. Yeah, it's like this. Yeah.
Yeah, like listening to that, like you could hear the pain.
Yeah.
And like the mature and growth in his sound.
Yeah.
Like versus like, cause I feel like this sound might even be like he's probably he's probably chilled out a lot. Mm-hmm. Like a whole decade of him like actually being known, and then like Triple X like that like he was heavy into drugs.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming now he's probably chilled out. I'm sure he's like California sober
Yeah.
at this point. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I feel like this album really cuts deep, like even as a listener, because it's like you expect I wouldn't say you expect. I usually expect like something from Danny Brown to be something quirky, something kind of like like fun and a little bit like out there. But even as at last album, you know what I'm saying? Like that was like a little bit like more sombrous as well.
Yeah.
It's like more on the traditional hip hop thing. But this Quaranta, like you can even tell by the album cover too. Like it's a little bit more like how he feels internally. That's
Absolutely.
all I gotta say.
Dour Danny.
Mm-hmm. I love Danny Brown.
Mm-hmm.
What were you gonna say about that album?
Oh no, that was pretty much it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, just him rapping in like a lower register.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, more serious, more reflective and mature. But yeah, and yeah, I'd say the same. I agree with that point of like similar to, you know what I'm saying, the sort of classic hip hop sound.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just in the samples and beats. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Especially like you had like Run the Jewels on like some tracks too. Like you had LP.
Yeah.
Like on like you know what I'm saying. Like I did really like that album, but I didn't really like catch my attention like Atrocity Exhibition.
Yeah.
That album's fucking goated too, in my opinion. But like Quaranta, that was just like a nice reflective album because that like It's only it's weird. I don't know if it's because I'm getting older. I'm starting to like listen to lyrics more.
Yeah.
Like before, like I told you, I don't give a fuck about lyrics, but now I've just been sitting down and reflecting, and just kind of like actually like taking the time to like look at like the lyrics on like song info and like for like songs that I really like. And just kind of like sometimes I'll like sit there and like reflect on it. Sometimes it'll cut deep, and then like I'll like actually like I don't know, like depending on like what situation I'm in, sex situation I'm in, and like either like start to tear up or like
it's
like
I know.
Yeah.
The more life experience you get, the more stuff hits you.
Yeah.
I remember crying the first time I read the lyrics to Clairvoyant. Like I'd listened to the albums before, but but then when I actually read the lyrics, especially like with the last song where he's just like letting go, saying goodbye to his friend, and like
it's crazy.
It's brutal. Yeah,
because like it hits you hard more now because you're like you might lose some friends. Like as we get older, like I don't know, depending on someone's situation, but like I feel like that's some real life shit.
Yeah,
absolutely. And then like one band I always tear up now, like I feel like it's not a band to tear up to, but like Black Dahlia Murder.
Oh yeah, because of Trevor. Yeah,
I have a lot of memories like associated with that.
Yeah,
band. So like
absolutely.
Seeing like old videos of him like alive, I don't know, kind of like brings a little bit of like a tear.
Yeah. But they're still going to tour, and I bet those shows are going to be real loving with like the fans, and they'll continue to be supportive. And,
I agree.
Yeah.
Plus, I think the lineup is like crazy good now. Like, you got like I don't know, one of my favorite guitarists, like Ryan Knight. Like, they're switching off leads like back and forth, and I'm just kind of like they're both. It's just such a good lineup. Like, I don't know how they're gonna like make a next album because they're like. It'll be too good. It'll be too powerful. I don't know how they're going to tone it down.
Yeah, they're going to kill it. Yeah.
But
I'm always interested in lyrics, but I don't always have the energy like when I'm listening to an album for the first part to like dedicate the time to sit down and read along the lyrics. I kind of listen to an album a couple times, and if I'm really vibing with it and I want to know like an extra layer of what's going on, then I'll read the lyrics.
I think like Contortionist is like worthy of like me reading the lyrics.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, heavily. Just like especially like I don't know, Clairvoyant, like that is such a I have emotions attached to that.
Yeah, that one's so story driven too.
Yeah, so it's just kind of like I even like the slow songs like the one after Absolve.
Relapse maybe?
I do like Relapse. That one's crazy. It's like just the like it sucks because I have the song in my head. Well, it just kind of like repeats the same melody, but it kind of just like gets more story driven.
Yeah, I did a whole video on that album. That shit's so good.
It's such a good album, man. It was The Center.
Oh yeah. That sounds awesome.
Yeah. Well, that's all I got.
I think it's in that song. There's the part where Michael sings like "Do you hear me now?" and just like the way the bass is like dum, dum,
like
dum.
distorted.
It's like
driven.
rumbling. Yeah, it's crazy.
God, such a memory.
Yeah, I guess we're about done here. But I might just
You got any more honorable mentions?
I don't, but I do have my little list of like bands that have announced upcoming things.
Okay.
Wait, Alluvial's EP already came out, right?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know why I have that.
I mentioned it.
Yeah. Actually, I don't know. Never mind. I forget. Well, I don't know. I just I don't know. Job for a Cowboy mentioned that.
Yeah.
Keith Buckley has that Project Mini Eyes, which they put out a single and it was decent. Ben Weinman teased a thing where it was like him and Dimitri, their original Dillinger vocalist. They're supposedly going to be working on some project. They also teased a thing like years ago and nothing happened. So I don't know. I also feel, I think I might have mentioned this in a recent thing too. I feel a little distasteful towards Ben just with how shitty he
handled
how
him.
harshly shadowing Greg, and just like for him being in the band for years and years and just like refers to him as just a contractual like worker. Like,
yeah, it's really shitty.
yeah. And just like yeah, just saying like there's no hope whatsoever for reunion stuff, which not that I necessarily like want that. I think it's cool the way they ended it, but I don't know. Yeah, just a little extra the way he's just like willing to stomp stuff down.
So something like within the band had to have happened, like enough for him, because I feel like he's just like a chill dude.
I think him and Greg were just like
Button heads,
like oil and water, just like straight up completely different people, and just like didn't jive at all.
That's crazy. Then why even let him in the band?
I don't know. Maybe it just wasn't apparent early on, and just like they Miss Machine did well, and things were kind of going well, and I don't know when the animosity started. I mean, it's like with Every Time I Die, like they broke up after Radical, but it was like 2 or 3 albums before that apparently is where like they weren't getting along, but they just kind of like white knuckle it. You're in that tour cycle, just kind of keep going.
That's crazy to like put up with stuff and just to kind of like I don't know, maybe because like they saw it as their job. Yeah, and they just was like, these are my coworkers at this point. Like,
yeah, that's such a weird thought. Yeah,
yeah. So it's just like you just gotta stick through it and just like, I don't know, just like I don't know. It's weird. It's like leaving a toxic job and like having the like business fail basically, and then like everything was all internal. And I feel like I don't know, like who really starts everything. Like Keith Buckley definitely. I zero like opinion on like Every Time I Die, but it's just kind of weird that like the brothers basically had animosity with each other.
Yeah,
right?
Brutal.
Yeah, and then like I don't know what the other dude, because like he was a guitarist, right? Like wrestling dude.
Andy Williams. Yeah.
I actually liked his presence a lot.
Yeah,
he was pretty cool. He reminded me a lot of you ever seen Full Metal Alchemist?
A little of it.
So you ever seen like you remember the big dude?
Yeah,
with, like the one blonde strip of hair.
Oh, maybe not. I was thinking of like his little brother. That's his spirits in the armor.
No, I'm talking about Andy, like the guitarist. For some reason, he gives me Alex Armstrong. For some reason, he gives me this vibe.
Oh yeah, I can see that. Yeah, definitely.
I don't know why. Just like with the mustache, I think.
Yeah,
like very like backyard wrestling mustache for some reason. But like yeah, I don't know. It just sucks when you have like a band and some band members like stick out through the toxicity.
Yeah.
Just because that's your source of income, and then it does well.
Yeah, that was probably the sort of trap they were in, is that they were a successful band. Yeah. Like, and it is as hard as it is to, stand out and make a career in like, in the metal world. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's a hard thing to do.
They're probably just like trying to stay grateful for what they had.
Mm-hmm. But eventually just kind of, I guess it kind of build up and like collapsed. Yeah, that sucks. And it sucks too, because I bring up to this theory, like if you have siblings in a band, like your band's probably gonna be really good because like you're with each other all the time.
Yeah.
And Keith and his brother, like like you're jiving on the same page pretty well. Then you got like bands like TTNG, and then like Contortionist. Yeah, I mean like those bands jive really well with each other generally. But I don't know. Hopefully Contortionist puts out a new album soon.
Yeah.
I've been waiting.
I know. I heard something months ago that they were writing. So, yeah.
I'm sure like how they write, it's like very intricate too.
Yeah.
I feel like they're not going to release anything until like they're pretty happy with it.
Yeah, it's funny that their music sounds as organic as it does, because I'm sure they're probably so meticulous.
I agree with
it
that.
all. Yeah.
But that's all I got.
That's all I had. 2023, I'd say it was a good year for music. I had a lot of stuff I was super into. Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of great stuff. Looking forward to 2024. Mm-hmm. Yeah, as of now, I'd say probably, unless I'm forgetting something, I'd say Job for a Cowboy is probably the thing I'm most looking forward to.
Same, agreed. Like Alluvial, like they already released their EP, so I'm already pretty satisfied with it. Spiritbox, like they released that EP, so I was like, oh, this actually makes it onto the list that I've already been like adding to. I actually don't have any other bands that I'm like looking forward to.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I think this year was better for concerts.
Yeah.
I think not a lot of heavy music like releases. But like definitely concerts.
Yeah,
Like,
there were some fun shows.
I still think the Scaring the Hose was like top 10 of the year for me.
That was super fun.
That
And Tesseract.
Yeah.
were so much fun.
I agree.
I wish we could already see Tesseract live again.
Yeah.
And I want to see Meshuggah live, just in general.
Honestly, we should have planned out to go see them in PA or like Boston. I think that would have been an awesome show because they played Humiliative.
I heard that they brought out Bleed again.
Yeah.
Bleed, Humiliative, and I can't remember if there was another one. Yeah, they brought out some older stuff.
And I was just like, fuck. Like, to see that crowd go, like, even the older crowd go heavy, like, you see that Grandpa gets out of his wheelchair. It's like, all right.
Old heads at the bar, with his, like, leather jacket.
Yeah.
My time.
My time. Finally, a song I recognize.
War flashbacks, yeah.
War flashbacks, that's funny. But, yeah, no. I wish I went to go see Misha because Misha was at one of those shows too.
Yeah, when we were there at the Fillmore, he was in the second story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw like his Instagram story or something.
God, that's so sick.
When his Spotify Wrapped, Meshuggah was in his
top
artist of the year. Yeah,
I can see that.
I think it was the like Obzen remaster.
I can see that. He's like finally better audio. Yeah. But yeah.
Happy 2023.
Happy
Here's looking to 2024. Hope
See.
y'all have a great year. Keep listening to us.
Please.
Yeah,
we'll
we're
definitely
begging you.
Yeah, please. But hopefully if there's another show soon, we'll definitely keep you guys updated with our next review. I enjoy doing these things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyways.
Yeah.
These lights are blinding.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.